Hello, welcome to Z Explains BG. I am Z. We're playing a three-point match against Mo on backgammonhub.com, and we will try to play well, but no promises. Four, four. Okay, so obviously making the 9 here. I don't know if I want to step up to the 20 or not. Because I'm a little under the gun, but it does help escape. I don't know, I could do this. I'm not sure about this already. It's just second move of the game or something. I'm already kind of lost. Oh, hey, George. Good to see you. Okay, now... Yeah, now maybe this, because that doesn't play as productively on my side of the board as the 4-4 did. But I'm still, still a little leery about being attacked here. It's a little less convenient for him to attack on the 4, or her to attack on the 4 than the 3. All right, this looks a little suspicious. That might work out. She should definitely make the 4 here. Keep me from escaping, Yeah, this is a pretty big error. Got good aces, too. Well, she's not rolling that good. So probably just 13-2. I don't know. Attacking might be right too at the 5, 13-5, 9-4. I'd have to think about that one. A little leery about giving up my midpoint, leaving shots out there, but doesn't look like it plays good if I don't. Sort of blocks 4-3, duplicates 5-2. If I do this, keeps the home board in decent shape, So I am gonna try this. No, she should attack here. 7-4-2, and then he's got a good double on the dances, She could reasonably cube this also. Although I am taking this. Now she's too good on the dances, but she might cash it. No, good play on, I believe. And, well, I don't know. I'd probably go after me here. There's a bunch of shots anyway, so I would have hit me there. Let's see, oh, no, she can just make the 4 here pretty reasonably. Might still be right. It could be right to hit also. Oh, yeah, this isn't right. And now, she's going to have a lot of trouble bringing this one home. So maybe that's double take or something. This doesn't look right. 4-6, good. Yeah, it's probably still an okay cue, but it's so awkward here that and I got a little bit of race vig, so I am gonna take this. It's a little questionable due to the score, maybe, where I have to be like pretty careful about taking an initial cube. But I don't know, it just looks so tough to bring home without leaving a shot that I'm gonna try taking. On the other hand, I don't rate to get very good recubes in. So we'll see what the computer says about that one. It's just the safe play here. Just clear the 7. My board's so awesome. She sees it. I think that was the first place she looked at, so she's going to find it, I assume. Oh. All right, got away with it. So there's one safe play where she clears the 6. Again, my board is so awesome that maybe she should actually do it. All right. Going to be hitting her a lot, so I'm a little bit leery about leaving a blot there on the ace. Still looks kind of good to me. Maybe it allows me to play on for the gammon if I hit and she dances. Okay. Okay, he's got a safe play again. It's really playing like a take. Good. One more shot. No. Well, I don't know if this is better than a 2-1 or something. All right, what's going on here? I think I'm a favorite now. I'm gonna have 3 off. Before she gets even 1 off, and she has the gap. Of course, like my pip count is a lot higher than hers. Well, I don't know. I think you can be a little aggressive with the recubes at the score because she has no recube vig. I don't think I would pass this. Good. She's happy she didn't. Although if neither of us miss, I still win. And neither rolls a double, that is. 5 or 6? Oh, oh my goodness, what did she drop to roll there by playing 2 to 1? She like miscounted her checkers or something. Sometimes it's okay if you end up with like an even number of checkers to like not bear off a checker like that. But yeah, that's really bad at the end. Because she's left with an odd number of checkers there. She said, yeah, it looked like she says I meant. Yeah, I think she misclicked there or something. Yeah, I guess it was just a misclick. Okay, anyway, so let's go to the computer analysis. Startup XG. Sorry, just give me 1 sec. Download, open, XG. Good. I saw this isn't working. Okay, here we go. Okay, let's put me on the bottom. I did not play perfectly, so we shall see my blunders. All right, 4-4. Okay, 4-4. Good. Yeah, everything's pretty close. Right. So obviously you're making the 9 point with 2 of them, and then you're thinking about the other 2. So I made the 2 point, which isn't a great point, but it's a point, and there's not a terrible use of this stack on the 6. So I did this. Right, but there's some argument for like stepping up, trying to get that guy out of there. I don't love the fact that I get attacked there. Well, I only have a 1 point board. The other hand, you get to play 13 to 9, which is pretty nice also. So it turns out the arguments are all pretty close. Let's see what the computer likes on the plus eval. Yeah, it looks all pretty close. Even putting the third guy on the 9 isn't, and going to and not making the 2 is okay. But yeah, this. So it's all very close. I mean, there's arguments for being back on the 24, and there's arguments for being on the 20. Okay, yeah, now you can even stay back with 13 to 6 if you want. Because you're kind of coming under the gun. You're kind of getting attacked if you step up. But on the other hand, 13 to 6 doesn't do that much, and you do kind of want to escape. So I do this. Yes, you should build a board. I build a little bit of a board. 4-3, 13 to 6, good. Oh, and then here's my blunder. Yeah, no, I did see the right play here, and I dismissed it just because I didn't like the position. I didn't like where this checker ended up. You know, past the anchor and past this gap on the 4. So I'm thinking, okay, well, I'll keep everything alive. I'll keep the checkers in decent spots, and it's not that dangerous. And I think I'm right that it's not super dangerous. I mean, there's some risk I get hit in the outfield, or she attacks me here and then she hits later. So it's a little dangerous. But I thought the nice distribution was sort of more important. I guess the computer's play does keep the midpoints. Which you can argue is sort of an asset out there. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. This still sort of looks right to me, to be honest. It's just she's got. I mean, she's just got such a huge attack over here now that maybe you don't want the extra blood in the outfield. So maybe it's closer. It's probably closer cubeless, right? Yes, it's somewhat. No, not real. It's a little closer cubeless, but it's not a big deal. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, she correctly attacks, and then I enter, and then oh, it's a pass already. Yeah, it's conceivable I would have taken this. I mean, I would have had to think about it, but it doesn't look that threatening. Just the attack is pretty potent, and I got this blood in the outfield. My board isn't quite together. Yes, the computer actually thinks this is a pass already, and I think the score matters here a little bit. I mean, it's maybe still a pass for money, but it's closer. We can take a quick look at that. Yeah, three away, three away. You got to be careful about taking. So we'll see if I actually did have a take when I took. But first, let's just look at what this is for money. Or say 0-0 and a 9-point match, say. Very money-like score. Yeah, so it's a close pass. 9 away is a close pass. 3 away is a big pass. So you can see the big score effect here. And it's because like passing and losing one isn't too bad. It's you get to 3 away, 2 away, which is it's a bit of a comfortable score to be at. Anyway, so I'm glad she didn't put me to the test there. Oh, hey, SJS, good to see you. Yeah, really glad she didn't put me to the test here because I might have blundered by taking. And then she's too good to double here, so she does correctly play on. But she should go after me though, or make her 4 there. Okay, even this is a pass. So I think this is a take for money, or 9 away. It's just the score. Oh, this might be close, but the score makes it a pass apparently. Yeah, 9 away. Yeah, it's pretty big take. Okay, so 3 away, pretty big pass. 9 away, pretty big take. Wait, is that the position I took? I thought she had a full 5 prime when I took it. Yeah. Oh no, she didn't double this. Yeah, no, this does look a little stronger for her than what I did take. Okay, no, this is where I took. Yeah, this is where I took. Point. It's a huge take for whatever reason. I guess just because like the open 4 point is going to stay open, and she's got these 4 dead checkers, and I got a little bit of race if I can pop a big double at some point, which I think I eventually did. Okay, so I guess this isn't even a cube for money. Nine away. Yeah, no double. Huh. Yeah, so if you have something to take away from this video, got to be careful about taking it 3 away, which means you should be a little aggressive with the cube when you're deciding whether to give an initial double at 3 away. It's tricky though. It's tricky. Sometimes it's like a little different than money, and sometimes it's a lot different than money. I think it largely depends on how many recubes the taker gets and how powerful those recubes tend to be. Whether you should be like a little more cautious or a lot more cautious about taking. Oh, wants to bust the board. Yeah, that's another pretty solid error. I did see the right play, and I did dismiss it. I mean, usually you do want to kind of run if it's not too dangerous and keep your awesome board. But here, I guess it just gives her too much apparently. Three pretty powerful builders, plus she's got some pick and pass numbers like 6-1-5-1. And the anchor causes her a ton of problems if I keep it. So yeah, the computer really wants to trash the board. Or this. Probably this. Yeah, she got a ton of stuff here. But she rolled 5-4, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm glad I kept my board because she can't attack. Yeah, 2-1's fine. I do get a shot. I miss it. I'm hoping to hang back for a while, but I roll 6-6, which apparently is the best number. Um, oh, it's a pass already. Okay. I was thinking this was double take. It's a little hard to evaluate because the position looks so lopsided. But I got a good chance not to miss, which means I'm ahead by I'm kind of ahead by 2 rolls. Like I take 2 off, she rolls a double. I'm still gonna kind of be off before her if neither of us miss and neither of us roll an additional double. So I guess sometimes people call this like a rolls. They think of this as like a rolls position versus a pips position, in that I kind of have a 7 roll position. So I have 14 checkers left. So if I don't miss, I get off in 7 rolls, where she has more like an 8 roll position. So I'm on roll and I have like 1 less roll than her. But I think I'm more likely to miss than her down the line. So anyways, she only wins this 20. Her takes points exactly 25. Pretty much exactly 25. And I win. So I guess my one blunder is this, where I should keep the midpoint, even though it's a little ugly. But anyways, let's see if we can play one more. We'll play student maybe. Perhaps the student will become the master. Okay, fine. Okay, let's do this. Obviously, you can do whatever here. Let's see how he wants to play this. I think there's a bunch of stuff that's close here. I have to split here because I'm getting blocked and he's not getting blocked, so I gotta counteract that by splitting. So no other play with the 2, I believe. Like in other words, I think 13-11 would be quite wrong there. All right, what should he do? I don't know. I guess slot the 4, put the checkers where they belong, given that everything's pretty shoddy. Or I guess he can minimize shots here and play 13-8, 6-2, or go after me. Yeah, this is okay. 2. Pretty awesome point. Hitting and going to here. See, the thing is, I'm making an awesome point, or I'm hitting off a crappy point. So I kind of want to make that makes me want to make the 5, but since he's anchored up high, maybe the 5 point doesn't even have. I mean, it has a lot of value, but maybe it doesn't have as much value as usual. But I don't know. I'm still gonna do this. I have my doubts though. I have my doubts for sure about this. On the other hand, maybe like hitting doesn't do that much because he has an anchor already. So we will see what the computer says about my possibly bad play there. Yeah, I don't know if upgrading from the 21 to the 18 is worth as much as upgrading on his side of the board, so I probably would keep that anchor also. I don't know if there's anything else. It seems like an okay anchor since his 8 point is gone. Never got attacked, which is nice. See what he does with this. I might play 6-1, 6-3. Oh no, this looks pretty good. It's a little dangerous to go, but Seems like maybe the requirements are met. You know, I only have fours to hit him, and he's up in the race and got a decent board. Yes, and it doesn't play productively elsewhere. Okay, kind of want to play 8 to 7. Actually, it's only four. It's only four additional shots compared to 6 to 5, and the builders look really nice. All right, let's go with what I want to do. I guess 5-5-2 is blocked. Jeez. Is this suicidal? Sort of has the most upside on the misses, I would say. It's pretty dangerous. What else am I doing? I mean, it's not like this is super safe either, you know? All right, so let's go for it. If I get hit back, maybe I enter right away. Yeah, so this is like too good or double pass. Got four builders on him. He's got a decent position over here, though. I'm just going to cash this one in. I assume he's not taking. This would be a pretty bad take, I think. Good. Yeah, you don't want to hit twice here because you want the good points slotted. Then you can either split or bring a checker down. I feel like I'm rolling very awkwardly. I can't really duplicate anything. Like if he was back on the ace, I'd leave the checker on the 9 and then duplicate fours. I want to be split with the 5 though. It just seems like this is too exposed. Although no, threes are kind of duplicated. Yeah, maybe that's right though. He's only got a 1 point board. It's tough for him to do everything. All right, sort of got away with it. Like I'm glad he doesn't have like a pointing number, like something that points on my head or hits twice, you know. Yeah, it's not at all clear what he should do. Good. Whoop, not that. This. Cannot double the dances here, even though I'm 4 away. Oh hey Alex, good to see you. All right, I guess I want the builder on the 6 and not the 5. So yeah, no, this ace is somewhat, yeah, arguably productive because his 8 point is stripped. Yeah, let's see what his game plan is here. Doesn't really have the time for a back game, but still 2 anchors looks pretty good. It's going to cause me some problems no matter what happens. He probably wishes he got some flexibility last turn, unless I would have hit him. Alrighty. This looks correct. This looks correct. 21 squared looks correct. Oh, what's he gonna do? I mean, he's up in the race 12 pips now, so a little bit of argument for getting the backmen going. Okay, it's reasonable. nothing going on here. Too much combination of race and contact gives me a very, very easy take. This looks a little suspicious. This looks better than what he was looking at. So what about just stacking the 13? You know, clear the 15 while you're up in the race, and you just need to come home safely, for the most part, because you're up in the race so much. So I probably would have just played 15 to 13 there. It's a little stacked, but I mean it clears the 15 point nicely. Yes, he might have trouble getting off these points now. It would probably not leave me a shot here with the race fairly close. 7-1, 4-3 is sort of okay. I mean, it's not like I'm going to be volunteering in the outfield next turn, so I don't think he's really going to be hitting a lot. Or this, yeah. Yeah. Similarly, I don't think he's supposed to volunteer with anything. So it's okay for me to leave 2 blots in my board, I think. All right, this is looking bad now. Well, good for him. Okay, so what is this? Oh, only down a pip. So probably this is my best plan, rather than go too deep in my board and then be yeah. Okay, so this is the right plan. Good. So I can actually, in non-gammonish positions, I can actually take a little deep at the score. Because if I pass, he gets to 4-way. And if I take and lose, he gets to like this awkward 3-away score where it's hard for him to get in a decent cube. So that makes my take point a little, probably around, I don't know what it is, but in like a long race, it'd probably be around 20% or something. Maybe even a little lower. The exact number depends on the recubes. So I have 4-away, 5-away. Yeah, so it looks like this should go double pass, I guess. Yeah, 10 pips. Yeah. Okay. All right, I'm up 2-zip. Yeah, making the 7 is what the computer does for money anyways. Gammon go, you might hit and make up inner board points. But the score is a little gammon go-ish. Oh, let's see what he's doing here. But I would have played the 3-3 like he did. All right, he's trying to do everything. 5, I did it. Should he keep attacking? It's very unlikely to work. Maybe it's just time to play 16 to 13 here. Okay, like he hits, I have 5s, 2s, and 4s at him. So I would probably end up doing this also, although hitting would have worked like crazy. Okay, so probably I'm just playing 20 to 8 here. I don't know how that compares to making the ace point. Seems a little questionable at the score. Okay, so let's just do this. Maybe my gut knows something. I know, escaping a guy seems like a good plan there. With my 6-6. Ah. Well, 3-1. He's probably not supposed to hit with 3-1, 4-1. So it's only 7 shots. This is going to be a pretty powerful cube coming up, I think. Oh, hey, Paul. Good to see you. How's the backgammon in Arizona? Do you guys have a lot of do you guys have a lot of live play there? Yeah, I don't think I want to take this. Not seeing a play I want to take after, anyways. Do this. Hope he's not too good, or hope he doesn't double me. I don't think he's too good here. Is there anything? It's just there's nothing. Ah, whatever. I think all reasonable plays are minus 1.0 equity there, because I think they're all just double pass, unless it's somehow like too good after my play. Alrighty, can you go to the 11 or go to the 13? It's actually quite a few shots on the 11. So I'm going to do this. Although the downside here is he could attack me with threes, you know. He's pretty happy to unstack and attack. I still like my play, though. Good. I like my roll even better. I was wondering about this. It's a little tricky due to the score. 3-way, 4-way. I got a pretty big edge here. So it's kind of a big edge though, due to like a lot of gammons, which means that I'd cube it as 0-0, but I don't know about 2-1, where I'm not getting full value from my gammons by doubling. Still though, it's such a good position. All right, let's see what happens. Like so you could argue it's a pass for money, which means maybe the score isn't a big enough deal to make it a no double. So I'm thinking maybe at the score this is double take. He's thinking about passing. No, he did pass. Interesting. Yeah, maybe it's stronger than I'm giving it credit for. But I sort of expected to take. So you say no scene at all. Denver and LA. Oh, that kind of sucks. It's a bummer. Have you tried like starting? Have you tried like starting anything there? You can use like meetup.com or whatever. Try to get other backgammon players. Although they tend to be like weak. If you do that, you get more casual players. But still, that might not be a bad way to get like a little bit of a scene going in your area. Like I know Albert Stegg runs where he is. There's not. I mean, near where he is, there's not a ton of like serious backgammon, but he runs a club, a little bit of a club up there that's just it's mostly casual play, but he gets like several people, and everyone sort of appreciates him, for putting it together. Okay, so that was one. Okay, so I can hit him twice, which looks pretty attractive. If I go 15-3. Yeah, let's try that. Is Jake still active? I met Jake a long time ago. He's still pretty active in backgammon. I don't go to like a lot of national tournaments. I don't really know who's playing anymore and who's not. Okay, let's try this. He's pretty flexible over here, so hitting him seems to have a lot of value. Wins more gammons. Winning a double gammon here would be sweet. Undoubled gammon here would be pretty sweet. The anchor seems to have a lot of value here. I mean, the 2 doesn't play good, but and the 4 does play good. If he enters with the 2, okay. I mean, 8 to 6 is okay. Oh no, this is better than 8 to 6. So this is probably the right idea. All right, let's put everything together in case I hit them later. Ah, see, maybe you should actually cube this at the score, where there's some gammons floating around. 15% gammons, maybe more. So if it's 15% gammons, that means my take point is 20 plus 15, which is 35. Which I do win this 35. I'm pretty sure. So this is probably double take, but I mean, at the score, yeah, at the score, you should definitely cube it. Four-way, two-away, some gammas floating around. So, but I am going to try this because I don't think I'm that big of an underdog. Could be a pass. I don't know. Now it's a pass. Probably a pretty solid one. 4, good. Yeah, better for the win would be 7 to 4 here, but I am very, very, very averse to being gammon for the match. Yeah. Yeah, I noticed there's just like a ton of like casual players out there. It's sort of an untapped, think of it as sort of an untapped backgammon resource. So I think if you do like, all right, I guess I got to try this. So it wins too much, you know. I know I'm getting gammon more, but this wins too much. I'm very diverse here because 3s and 4s make the 2, 6s and 5s jump. This looks okay. Yeah, what's wrong with this? 6-6 is safe. 6-6 is a shot, but I like the 4 builders and 0 shots. Filling in the 2-point is fairly important. So I get 5 builders versus 3 if I play a little safer. Yeah, it's not working. All right, so this is fine, I think. And clear the 6-point next turn with a bad number sometimes, like so. And then he just comes in with a 6. This is not an easy match for me. So I'm not going to guess my PR. I think it's 4 blot numbers next turn versus 2, but I think it's a little safer because I get to clear that next turn. He does get to hang back for a few turns. Nice. Yeah, I might as well stick around. Racing looks totally hopeless. Could roll an ace, and then I got a million blot numbers. Here I got all aces except for 1-1. All right. Right. Also, if you play with weaker players sometimes and like you discuss plays and stuff, you end up like explaining a lot of stuff. I find that's actually helpful to like internalize concepts in my own mind sometimes. Like if I'm teaching someone, I'm teaching someone. Oh yeah, he says well played. A little bit worse than usual, but not too bad. 4-7. It seemed like a little bit of a tough match for me, so I'm not surprised to see the somewhat elevated PR. So we'll take a look. We'll take a look at my blunders, anyways. Then I am going to take off after that. Okay, yeah, he actually outplayed me. He actually outplayed me by an okay margin. So good for him. 6-4, 5-2. Yes, he's bringing a checker down is really bad here. Even though it might look somewhat close. But the thing is, like, he has an anchor, I don't, which means he can block me. And I can't block him, so that means I got to get the backmen going. And the race is okay for running. Oh, the 1-1 is a big blunder. Yeah, so I'm a little surprised. I'm not surprised my play is wrong. I'm surprised it's wrong by this much. So it wants to hit in some fashion and then either play. It wants to play 24 to 23, but 22 to 21 is okay too. Or even 8 to 7 is better than my play. So the reason I guess I'm getting it. I guess I'm getting this confused with like similar plays where, you often you do if you're hitting off kind of a crappy point on the other side of the board. Often you do want to make an also. You want to make your 5-point instead. So which would imply my play would be what you want to do here. My blunderous play would be what you want to do, but. Yeah, here it's just different. What if he's back on the ace point? Does that make my play a little like more okay? Because it's a more the 5-point is more powerful in that case. The tempo helps. Yeah, no, I saw that aspect to it because as you say, he's got like a lot of flexibilities, a lot of attackers. So that's going to be part of it too. Let's take a look at a couple of variants to see if I can. See if I can internalize this, why I went so wrong here. Let's keep it the same for a second. What about this position? The 5-point has more value here, I think, when he's not anchored up high. Because like it's better for blocking. So I guess my play is less wrong here. Yeah, it's somewhat less wrong. It's like 0.1 as opposed to 0.2. Oh. Here you make the 5, right? Because the block is, then there the point is like freaking awesome. It just sort of ties the whole position together. And hitting off the 22 is not, doesn't do that much. Yeah, here it's not close. Here you make the 5, and you can even slot the 7 afterwards. Okay. Yeah, so because of the low point of my board being made, and because he has a high anchor, the block that I'm making just isn't that good. Now, as Alex points out, he's also got a lot of attack and flexibility. So, like this position. It's not as bad to make the 5, but you still don't want to do it. Checker from the 8 to the 6. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. So the 5-point goes up in value a little bit here again, but it's still going to be right to hit. I'm sorry. What's the original? Let me go back to the original position. Yeah. Yeah, still right to hit, but it's a little closer because you're unstacking the heavy 6 more now. Okay, so what's the key here? Yeah, the five just isn't where I'm going wrong is I'm thinking, okay, the 5 is super valuable here, so I want to forego it I want to forego hitting off kind of an point in order to make it. But the problem with that reasoning is the five just isn't that valuable here. I mean, it's valuable. Don't get me wrong, but it's not as valuable as hitting compared to this position. This is sort of the key, I think. The five is super duper valuable here. It's just not. Again, it's hugely right to make the five. Now hitting is the double whopper. Okay. Okay. No, this was. I'm glad this came up. This was pretty helpful. Like even here, obviously the five is a little less compared to him being anchored on the ace. The five is somewhat less valuable, right? Because I'm not. The block isn't as effective as the against the 22-point anchor versus the 24-point anchor. But it's still pretty good here. So could this be close now? I don't know. The way my mind was like weighing these factors said this was like fairly close now. Yes, it's somewhat closer, but you still hit. Um, yeah, I did find some of this fairly close. It's 0.03 now, so the factors sort of come close to canceling out here, and then so based on this, it's right to make the five again here, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's go back to the match. That was pretty instructive for me. This is a big blunder in the early game. Woof. Or another way, I almost thought about it this way. And I maybe could have found it if I followed through on my thinking. You're a favorite if you do this. You're an underdog if you do this. Which I can kind of see it. I mean, I thought maybe I'd be a favorite if I did this, but no. All right, yeah, I'm a little scared of being attacked, so I anchor. He makes a good run play here. I go 13 to 6. Oh, 8 to 6, 8 to 3. Yeah. And I'm not sure I considered this actually. 13 to 6 is pretty not great though. I guess because you're stripping the midpoints. Here you're stripping the 8-point. But you don't mind giving up the 8-point to attack, especially with the 2-point made. So yeah, I can kind of see this being better. The distribution looks weird here. 2 here, 4 here. All right, 4-1. Okay, I go for it here. Play 8 to 7 because the builders are so awesome, so it's worth the risk. Oh, then the 6. This is a tough play. I mean, I don't know about this one. Obviously, I'm giving up the anchor to hit here. It's pretty easy. I'm giving up the anchor at a time when he's hitting me, but there's big upside on the misses, so it's hard to weigh that versus this, which is still pretty dangerous. Never get blown away though, you know. I guess there's still pretty big upside on the misses. Oh, I don't think I can cube a dance though this way, can I? Yeah, somewhat closer cubeless. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, I do get a dance here, and then yeah, it's closer to too good than a take, but it's still pretty far from too good, and it's such a huge pass that maybe there's cubeful arguments the other way with the 6-3. Yeah, this is a tough this is a tough one. Let's see how bad my PR was in game one. Oof, I played a 23 PR in game one. Woof. Okay, so game two I assume is better than a 23 PR. 4-1. Yeah, so some people, especially beginners, they hit twice here with the 4-1. But the thing is, you're only against a 1-point board. You very much want the 5-point slotted and not the 1-point slotted. And you get a productive 4 elsewhere. So it's worth the risk. It's worth the extra risk to leave to go for the good position here. Okay, yeah, everything's fairly close here. Yeah, I didn't know what I was doing here, but I'm glad to see that everything's fairly close. Yeah, if I didn't do what I did, which is to split everywhere, it leaves him pretty diverse and pretty attack. You know, he's gonna attack with a lot of numbers, but this leaves the guys kind of stuck back there and doesn't go after a good anchor. So Yeah, it turns out everything is pretty close. Hit twice with 4-1 after 5-1. Yeah, yeah. In fact, yeah, I think if your opponent splits with an ace, 2-1, 5-1, 4-1, and then you roll 4-1. So you're right that you hit against 5-1, but I think you hit against all of them. You hit twice against all of them, because there, if you just hit once, you're slotting the 2-point as opposed to the 5-point, right? So, there you can justify hitting twice. Yeah, that's a good point, Alex. Yes, it's important not to get confused there. Yeah, here just hit once, but if you split with a 5-1, you roll 4-1, you hit twice. Right, yes, good. It's probably none of them are close either, I think. Yeah, it's a little hard to find like a reasonable option with a 4-1 after any of them. Like 13 to 8 might be like second best or something. All right, get a good 4-1. Goes after me. All right, yeah, I hit and play the ace correctly. Yeah, 6 to 5, second best, but generally, almost always, unless you're bearing in for the bear off or whatever, you want the spare in the 6 and not the 5 almost always. If you just have a single spare there, just because there's more options with it. Kit Woolsey used to say, spares on the 6 are gold. 2-1, okay, make a nice anchor. He runs correctly. Yes. Yeah, I know that play. Yeah, 5-2 split 4-1. You do the beginner's play of 13 to 8. Sometimes people are like pretty averse to doing that, and so they split twice, 24 to 20, 24 to 23, which I think I used to do. So we're talking about this play. So 5-2. 4-1. Like before I saw the computer analysis, I think I used to play 24 to 20, 24 to 23, which I don't think is too bad. But you're splitting into this. You're kind of splitting into the stacks where he wants to hit you from, and 13 to 8 is sort of productive at no risk, so the computer likes it. So how bad is splitting? Yeah, splitting is quite close. So it's actually okay. In fact, it might be right at certain match scores. Yeah, it's right at Gammon save, it looks like. If you're 1 away and your opponent's 2 away and it's the Crawford game. No, it's still not right for some reason. I guess because he gets to attack. Gammon go. Oh, Gammon go wants to hit 8 to 3. That's odd. I'm not sure I've ever seen that play. From a good player anyways. So when the opponent splits with an early 2, the 11 point is a good place to be on, right? Yeah, so 5-2, 5-2, for instance. Five one five. Okay, so let's look at 5-1, 5-2 first. Here, the 11 point isn't a good place to be because you're making his 5-4 and 6-3 good, a little bit 6-4, which, I mean, 5-4 and 6-3 are pretty bad numbers on White's side of the board. So you don't want to give him good hitting options, right? So you definitely. I guess I'm wrong here. Now maybe I'm thinking of a different play. What am I thinking of? Yeah, here is still not great, but oh no, I'm sorry, I got the wrong score. Yeah, no, it's 0.02 wrong. It's 0.02 wrong for money to bring a guy down because you don't like leaving a checker here when he split with an ace. But when he split with a 2, as Alex pointed out, it's actually good to be on the 11 point because 5-3 is blocked. 5-3 doesn't hit, and 6-4 is duplicated. So while splitting is still okay, the computer slightly prefers bringing 2 down with the 5-2 here. Yeah. 6-4 is highly duplicated. Right? Yeah, yeah, exactly. And 5-3 is blocked, so it's not as many shots as it may look. 2-2 is like a little duplicated too, right? Because I don't actually know whether White's supposed to hit with a 2-2 or not, or just make a bunch of points somewhere. Like you can make your 4 and your 11, or you can make your 4 and your 22, and then play 13 to 11, which looks pretty attractive. Or you could hit, but you're kind of spending it all in one place. It's a little bit of a waste. So I'd probably make the points here. Make some sort of point making play anyways. Yeah, the computer does prefer this. So 2-2's duplicated, as well as 6-4. 4-4 you hit and make your 4, I'm sure. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. It's actually a blunder. That's sort of good to know. I mean, it's sort of a common opening theme where you can either hit on your opponent's side of the board, or you can make two great points somewhere, an anchor or two offensive points. You usually want to make the 2 points. If you just can make 1 point, you usually want to hit. But if you can make 2 points, you usually make the points. But it depends. I mean, if there's extra incentive to hit for some reason, then you do actually want to hit rather than make the 2 good points. Like here, if you make 2 good points, if you leave him alone, he's got very powerful building structure. So you got this great builder on the 9, and he can make a great anchor. So you're actually supposed to hit 6-4 split 2-2, just because like the one thing going on is the builder on the 9 is so powerful. All right, yeah, no, he played the 6-6 correctly. Okay, I run correctly. He upgrades the anchor correctly. Yeah, I know that place. That was not close for some reason, even though it looks like it should be close to me. 6-6-4 split 4-4. It's like a real error, like not to play 24 to 16 squared. But again, part of the reason is he's got like a great slots on his 9 and on his 18 that like you want to hit in some fashion. So I don't understand, but like with that play, like I don't understand why we're talking about 6-4-4-4. Like it's not close. Like I mean, hitting looks pretty clear to me here. I don't understand why hitting and making the 9 is like a real error though. Like that looks like perfectly fine and normal to me. Like okay, so you leave the back man a little stranded, but the 9 points like pretty awesome here, right? So why is like making the 16 like so much better? Oh no, it's not. It's not a huge deal. For some reason, I was thinking it was like a bigger deal than this. So it's only 0.01 for money. Um, yeah, the other stuff's a big deal. If you don't hit, it's a big deal. Again, because you don't want to leave him alone where he's so flexible. Huh. Oh yeah, then double ones. Yeah, he should just be thinking disengagement here. So his play leaves him with a problem of like getting out off the 15 point, which is kind of a big problem. His play was okay here. Yeah, we could play 7-1, 4-3. Keep the 8 points. 8-2-7-6. Gotcha. Yeah. See, it's not important. Well, like if you thought that you had a good chance to get a shot next turn, you'd want to lock up the 2 point here. But since you can like spread things out, and I don't think he should really volunteer with anything. Like he shouldn't volunteer a shot anywhere with anything. So it's okay to leave the checker spread out, and then you get to build both these points maybe later. Anyways, yeah, running's the best plan here, even though I'm down in the race a tiny bit. And then yeah, I just cash it in. So 4-3 down, 4-4 no hits. Right. 4-3 down. 4-4 no hit. Right. So that play, I think I knew that play. So the play Alex is mentioning is this play. Right. No hit here. How close is it? It's quite close though. Yeah, you can even do the 6-4 play. Yes, I guess you are leaving him alone here at a time when he does have good build power, but the anchor sort of puts pressure on both these blots, which is worth something. I don't know. It's a little hard for me to distinguish between the concepts here and the concepts after 6-4. But still, in both cases, hitting and making the 9 is sort of okay, but there's this, and making the 16 is sort of okay. But there's just better. There's just better. This is like a little slightly better play in both cases. You basically you neutralize the builders, right? Yeah, you force them. You sort of force them to clean up that stuff. I know this is so we're at the 2-0 game now. Yeah, so he correctly. Yeah, this is a good opening play to know. For money, you make the 7 point here, even though you can hit off the 15 if you want. You always make the 7 for money if your opponent splits with a 6. As the score gets to be a little more gammon go-ish, where gammons mostly go one way, as it does here because he's down in the match, and my double gammons aren't super valuable or anything. That's when you can start thinking about maybe making your 5 point after hitting, say. Okay, yeah, here I do like splitting. Otherwise, I'm getting kind of blocked back there. And I play 10-9, which is a bit of an upgrade, maybe. Somehow the computer doesn't mind 24-23 here, even though there's this builder on the 8. Yeah, I would have thought that was more wrong. Like 10-9 strikes me as like a real upgrade in the position of that builder. Okay, the computer just wants to uncompromisingly make the 5, but he tries for more. It doesn't work. I thought this was a good play with the 5-3, leaving me alone. Like typically, you're entering and hitting off the 5 because you want to fight for that point, but it's just too risky here. Too many shots back. So he makes this nice productive play where he just kind of cleans up the blot in the outfield. Okay, it does like making the ace here with the 6-6. My play isn't too bad at just escaping a checker. Probably my play is more of an error at other match scores. Gammon go, I make the ace pretty easily here, I think. I find that play pretty easily. But here, maybe you want to play a little conservatively. Yeah, he just crushes me. Yeah, everything is minus 1.0 here. So, like I said, every legal play apparently is double pass according to the computer. So you can ask your opponent what he wants you to do, and then you just do it. It's funny. Every single legal, you can't make a play bad enough that makes them too good. Even though there's all sorts of splitty and blotty plays. So live over the board, what I try to do is think about what play your opponent is least likely to double after, and then make that play. But you got to be careful about not making them too good, also. Okay, yeah, it's 20. I got this run right. 24-13 is a little better than 22-11. Again, he split with an ace, right? So the builder on the 11 isn't great. It's funny. It sort of meshes with the concept we were talking about earlier. When the guy split with the 2, you don't mind the builder. You kind of like the builder on the 11 because of the 6-4 duplication, the 5-3 blockage, and the 2-2 duplication. So know when this stuff comes up. Like, so if you understand why, if you understand why you bring two down with 5-2 against an opening 5-2 split, you can more easily find the right plays with that 6-5 there. This 6-5, right, where you're more averse to leaving the checker on the 11 when the opponent split with an ace versus split with a 2. If you just memorize this stuff, if you just memorize those opening replies, you might not get this one right. But if you understand why you're doing what you're doing, it helps you with this position. Okay, so apparently, oh, it's close on the take pass. Interesting. Yeah, I thought the double was more the question here due to the score. But apparently this is such a big money pass that it's still a pass even at the score where he should take aggressively in gammonish positions. Okay. So I sort of misanalyzed this position a bit. I thought maybe it was close pass for money, but it is a big pass for money. Yeah, here different match scores you'd bring down to 2, but it's 2 away, 4 away. So your opponent is very eager to get in a gammonish cube. Like if he wins a lot of gammons, he gets to double very aggressively. Or if I get into a gammonish position where I win a lot of gammons, I don't get to double very aggressively at all because it kills my gammons, and he gets an automatic recube to 4. So that's why you want to play out of the opening anyways, where both players might cube later. Game's about even. You want to play a little concern. You want to play a little gammon save at the score, which means splitting when he's up on the bar, going for an advanced anchor, or going for some running game plan. So that's why you split as opposed to bringing a checker down. For money, I tend to bring a checker down there. Okay, get a good 5-2. Yeah, 4-4. A lot of options, obviously. None of the point-making plays are like safe or anything, so I go with this double hit play. The computer thinks it's right. Although second best of this, I did see this good 4 duplication here, right? Forced to hit here, forced to hit here, forced to anchor. So I mean, actually, maybe at the score I should do this for the reasons I said before, because it wins fewer gammons than this hit twice play. So in other words, I'm more likely to get in a good cube after the more conservative play here. Like if it just turns into some holding game, maybe I can cube later. If I get like this blitzy game, then I can't cube them. Yeah, maybe I didn't give this proper consideration. I sort of jumped at the 5 point because it's the 5 point, but yeah, this other play where the anchor, make the 3 and make the 10. Yeah, it's close. I guess I'm not surprised it's close. Right, obviously one makes the anchor, one makes the 3, and then you have a choice of 2 upgrades in your position. Making the 5 gives up the 8, but again, it's the 5 point, so you often want to do that. Making the 10 makes a new asset, keeps the 8 point, and unstacks the heavy midpoint. So yeah, I can see that being a real play. Okay, yeah, go after me, and nothing is safe. He hits me back. Okay, I put everything together. Apparently the computer wants to play 22-11 here to get the back man out. I feel like most people are making my play. 22-11 does duplicate 3s very well. He's 3-1, 3-6. Like we could put the computer's play up on the board. Like he's not hitting with, well, maybe he's not supposed to hit with 3-1, 3-6. He can make his 5 instead. So I guess it's not that many shots. 6-6-1 also is duplicated. Hit versus make the 5. Gives up the anchor and hits versus making the 5. So I guess this just isn't that many shots. And he's always when he hits, he always has to give up his anchor to do it. Yeah, 3-1, you make the 5, but it's close. 6-3 it hits because it gets the 6 plays quite productively that way. It was 6-1. Yeah, 6-1, you make the 5. Hmm. But I don't know, my play locks up like 2 points that are slotted, so looks okay to me. Not this 6-5. This 6-5, right? Like you want to fill it in. I guess it's a little hard to play next turn if you can't spring this back checker. Like I got too many points. In other words, I got 7 points around the board. So that maybe I have to give, if I don't roll well, I got to give something up. So my play isn't quite as productive as it first seemed maybe. Yeah, double close take seems right. Yeah, it's probably a pass, but it's not a big deal. Right, he does win 14% backgammons. So to get your take point at this score, you add 14 to 20, and then my take point is that. So my take point is like 34%, and I have like 33 something. So it's like this close-ish. Is this the close pass apparently? Actually, you gotta click on. Actually, you gotta click on. You gotta. So I always kind of just look at these numbers here. These numbers here. These percentages here. But that's actually not right. It says winning chances no double. Click for double take. So you gotta click, and then the computer tells you what the gammon percentage is after it goes double take, in its opinion. So it's 14.5. So my take point's actually 34.5, and I win just 34. Yeah, that would be a huge pass. Yeah, I thought a little bit about splitting here, but I didn't want to get hidden up the gammons. It's arguably better for the win to come out to here, but obviously you're winning more gammons. You're losing more gammons. Oh yeah, it's good. Yeah. Thanks for chatting, SJS. It's good to see you. 3-2. Yeah, I slot the 4, but I might be hitting next turn, so I think the computer likes not leaving any blots and getting good builders. I can buy it. Yeah, I do hit, and I'm like, oh, I got a blot in my board now, but gotta hit even though I'm getting gammon quite a bit more. Yeah, I'm getting gammon around 20% more here. Woof. So at this pure gammon save type score, normally you'd be pretty leery about doing this. The problem is it makes me almost a favorite when I hit, and I'm a huge underdog if I don't. So you got to take the risk. And then yeah, I'm playing a little gingerly here. You can get more builders by slotting these points, but again, I'm a little worried about getting hit and gammoned. This was okay. 6-3-5-4 is also okay. I say 16, 13, 10, 9. Yeah, it's all kind of the same. Fine. 5-1. Oh, wants to play 15 to 9 for some reason. Yeah, I don't get that. What's wrong with this? 6-6 blots, but so does 15 to 9. My play gets 4 builders for the 2. This only gets 3 builders for the 2. Oh, is it the fact that this does, if he rolls 2-5, 2-6, I want the other position? Is that the idea? I don't know. That doesn't seem like a big deal though. He will pop out though here with 2-5, 2-6. Still, the builder is very valuable, so the computer thinks it's close. Yeah, okay, fine, fine. The computer just wants to leave 0 shots here. He thinks the game is just locked up and the gammas don't matter. My play gets an extra 2 builders for the 2. If it was just 1 builder, 1 extra builder, I would have avoided the shot. But it's 2 extra builders. So I paid off the 2 shots, but the computer hates it. And I just basically try to play as safely as possible. Here is wrong. Yeah, I mean, obviously you want to take the checker off rather than leave 3 guys on the ace. But I thought I think I see what's going on. But I thought that this would be a little safer long term because I know it's an extra couple blot numbers next turn, but I get to clear this point a lot now. You hardly ever get to clear the 5 point this way, so you're kind of paying the blot numbers later. This is after the right play. The factor I missed though is this. So he's always staying back here unless he's forced to go. You want 3 builders for the 2 points after the computer's play, as opposed to 2 builders for the 2 points. That swings the play. Like for instance, if he has the 2-point anchor, I think my play is correct. I think you strip the top point here for the long-term safety, because the builders are no longer valuable for attacking him next turn. No, I'm still wrong. It still wants to take the checker off. This is a bit closer. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't fully understand when to strip the top point and when to not. I mean, maybe it's just the fact that like taking the guy off the ace is so much better than having 3 checkers down there. Like if you get hit later, and maybe the safety is just no big deal. But anyways, I get lucky and I finish him off. So what happened that match? I made 2 blunders. This one, I don't know. I don't have any. I can't glean any information from this because the two plays are so different, and it's just hard. It's just hard to weigh. It's just hard to weigh the danger after each one. So it's 4 blot numbers versus 2 blot numbers, I believe. My play leaves 4 blot numbers. The computer's play leaves 2 blot numbers. But the computer's play is right. It's just I think it's just 6-5 here. But the problem is, okay, so you don't roll 6-5. You roll like a 6-4, and then you still left with the problem of the 5 point, and then you have 4 blot numbers on the next roll. So you're kind of like paying it twice. Whereas this is 6-3, 5-3, and I think that's it. So it's 4 blot numbers. But you roll a 6-4 in the next roll, and then you're completely safe. So you only have to pay those blot numbers once. And then he's gone down the line. But I guess I'm sort of misapplying this concept. Yeah, you bear off an extra checker. So that's good when you get hit later. So maybe I'm right that this is slightly safer, but it's just a tiny bit. So you want the checker off in case you get hit. Maybe that's what's going on. Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe it's just that. Maybe the checker off is just valuable enough to pay like a little bit of extra risk. And I'm probably also overstating how much I probably overstated how much extra risk there is. This is why I want that database. This old Sconiers database that I've been asking people about, and most people don't know what I'm talking about. Sconiers, I think, was the guy who wrote the Hugh Sconiers back in the early 2000s, maybe even earlier. He wrote the database that's like the bear-off database that shows that like you know like how many average rolls you have to bear off at each side, and that's built into the modern bots. So you can get like, there's even like they even made like a 2-sided database that has like the exact answer for stuff. When it's like a non-contact bear off position. But he also made like this database, unless I dreamt it up or something. But he also made this database that showed the hitting chances in certain contact positions, certain contact bear-off positions under certain assumptions. The assumptions being the guy gets, white gets to stay back as long as possible, and black is going to play as safely as possible from then on. So that would be useful for me here. Because white is going to stay back as long as he can pretty much here. And I'm mostly going to just try to play as safely as I can here. So it'd be good to know if this actually is a little safer than leaving the 3 checkers on the 5 long term. Yeah. Yeah, do you know about this database, this old bear-off data, this old contact bear-off database? Maybe I should just email Sconiers and see if he has a copy for sale or whatever. Like I asked Carol Joy Cole about it, and she mentioned a few databases she had, but it seemed like they were just like the regular non-contact bear-off databases. So I don't know. Rick Janowski. No, I'm pretty sure it was Sconiers. I could be wrong though. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's why no one knows what I'm talking about. So you say it's a hits database, backgammon. Yeah, I don't know. Bear off. Yeah, I did a quick Google search, but I'm not finding. But yeah, send me an email if if you figure out if you find some information on this old database. Oh, Mark Damish, a player I played with way back when. I think he might have told me about it a long time ago. So he might have a copy. Maybe I'll try emailing him. Anyways, so I guess that was the last decision. Yes. Oh yeah. So we're just going to look at my horrible plays in game 1. Yeah, this 6-3. I don't know. This is above my pay grade, I think. I mean, I think people are getting this right for the right reasons, but for me it's just hard to weigh the factors. Like the computer wants to do this to keep the anchor in case of an accident. I mean, my play gains more in the misses, but gives up the anchor also, so I get blown away too much. This is the one that I want to remember. This 1-1, because I think I see exactly where my thinking was going wrong. I was thinking the 5 point was this crazy valuable point that's worth foregoing the hit for, and here it's just not because of the anchor and because of the 2 points made. Yeah, no anchor is big there. Yeah, I mean that's probably the key to seeing it, right? Because it is so dangerous to hit, and you're giving up sort of your lifeline back there. But in very similar positions with like a little less risk, it's gonna be right to hit off the 14. That's the problem with trying to glean something from this. You know. Like even this maybe. I mean maybe hitting the outfield here. Yeah, it's close here. It's just like a little less. It's a little less dangerous to do that, and it swings the play. So that's why I say it's sort of tough to glean a specific lesson from this position. You know, it's just a matter of just being good at backgammon and weighing the factors correctly. Yeah. Yeah, so here, I mean, there's almost no double hits, right? If you hit off the 13, like probably 3-3, 1-1. A lot of double hits if you hit the other way. But yeah, that just doesn't tell. Yeah, 4-4. Well, not that many more. 4-5-4-1. I guess that's it. Oh no, I'm sorry. This isn't the position though. Yeah, sorry, I got to go back to the match. to hit here, 4, 4, 3, 4, 5. But as you point out, keeping the anchor sort of key. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But so let's see. Did I have the right position when I did the variance? Yeah, yeah. Like here is closed because the anchor isn't quite as important. This is not quite as dangerous. All right. Well, that was helpful. Yeah, that was good. Yeah, good. I wish I played a little better, but yeah, it's good chatting with everyone. Good comments, everyone. But I'm gonna sign off now. Hope you got something out of it, and I am going to see you next time.